This is Maple Hills. I'll tell you what you need to know about this great Waterloo neighborhood, starting right now. Hey, it's Andrew Shackleton, Kitchener-Waterloo real estate broker, drew@home.com. So Maple Hills, West End Waterloo neighborhood, bounded by Fischer Hallman, Erb Street, and University. This neighborhood's triangular shaped and sits just to the west of Westmount Golf Course. It's actually a kind of a subdivision of the greater Westmount neighborhood. Getting around this neighborhood, not bad. You've got bus routes, but they just run along Erb Street and Fischer Hallman. Things are obviously a lot better if you have a car, and really getting anywhere in Waterloo or Kitchener is about a 15-minute drive. Now, if you wanted expressway access from here, your best choice actually would be to head out a bit further to your west to Iron Needles and take the roundabouts down to the expressway that way, or you could take Fischer Hallman. Your other choices, of course, if you're heading to the north, you could pick up the expressway by heading down Erb Street. So getting around's not too bad. We're suburban, but we're still kind of almost central. Westmount, the neighborhood, isn't too far away from the downtown. Now, talking about things to do here in Maple Hills. Well, of course, the golf course, Westmount, features very prominently. It's just across the street on the other side of University. You've got another local golf course as well, the Badlands, that's just right beside the Boardwalk. And then, of course, there's other local courses inside KW, such as Rockway, Dune, or, of course, Grace Isle and Waterloo. So lots of choice for golf. Now, other things within this neighborhood, of course, this little park is at the south end. They've got tennis courts here. A gentleman to my left, of course, is playing. So that's something you can do as well within this neighborhood. But there's not a lot in here park-wise. This is the only park, and it's down in the south end. So to get out in nature, you've got to head a little bit further afield. Now, locally close by, you've got Laurel Creek. That's just a neighborhood or so to the north. Fantastic outing for your kids. You could really spend the entire day there. If you're a bit more active, if you're into trail running or mountain biking, we're very, very close to the Hydrocut. That's just on the other side of the Boardwalk. Those trails are actually rated as some of the best trails in the entire province. So that's a good outing as well if you're into mountain biking. You want the gym. Well, Movati at the Boardwalk, they've got a nice gym in there. There's also the Stork Family YMCA. And then you've got the Recplex in Uptown Waterloo right in the core. So those are good local choices. If your kids are into, more organized team sports, you could, of course, always go out to Rim Park over by the Eastbridge neighborhood. That's a great choice as well. Now, other things to do here in Maple Hills. You've got, of course, let me see, St. Jacob's Farmers Market. That runs Thursdays and Saturdays. That's, I think, the first or second biggest farmers market in the entire country. The village of St. Jacob's isn't too far away either. So you've got that, and of course, if you want to go out on the town for a bite to eat, there's lots of shops and restaurants at the Boardwalk, or you could head into Uptown Waterloo or downtown Kitchener. We're not really too far away from either. How about groceries for Maple Hills? You've got a great selection. Closest one would be the Zares on the corner of Fischer Hallman and Erb. You've got the Food Basics on Fischer Hallman and University. There's the brand new Sobeys on Iron Needles. You've got that Costco out by the Boardwalk. There's the Walmart in the Boardwalk, and of course the other Sobeys up on Columbia. And then lastly, I'll actually mention a couple more. You're close enough to the Uptown Value Mart or Vincenzo's, or what's one more? Oh, Highland Hills, the Superstore. So tons of groceries in this neighborhood. Now, how about schools? So Maple Hills for schools, you've got for your Catholic board, you've got Resurrection and Holy Rosary. Those are both across the street in the Westvale neighborhood. For your public board, you've got Empire for 7 and 8 at Centennial, and then your high school is KCI in the core of right by the hospital in Kitchener, by the Kitchener-Waterloo border. So that's your choices for schools. What about the properties here in Maple Hills? Well, it's an unusual neighborhood for starters. Aside from the strip along Erb Street where you've got apartments, some condos, and commercial properties, the entirety of this neighborhood otherwise is detached homes. There's no semis, There's no townhouses, there's no condos. There's nothing but detached homes. And that makes it somewhat unusual, and it's just something I thought I'd point out to you. Now, age-wise, this neighborhood was started being built out in the early 1960s and ran through right into the late 1980s until this neighborhood was more or less built out. You've got a fairly wide price point, from more modest homes to quite nice homes near the golf course. It's a quiet, peaceful neighborhood. There's lots to see and do around here, and it's definitely one that you should consider checking out. Anyways, that's all I got for you today. Thanks so much for watching this video, and have yourself an awesome day.